Assalamu alaikum everyone. Your Excellency, Co-Chairman Pathfinder Group, Ikram Sehgal Saab, distinguished guests, respected judges, startup founders, and dear students. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. Welcome to Amani Bagh. Today, it's not just an event, it is a continuation of a global conversation from the snow-covered peaks of Davos to the vibrant potential of Pakistan. We gather here to reflect, reimagine, and redefine what lies ahead. On behalf of Pathfinder Group and Pathfinder School of Excellence, Citadel, welcome to DAVOS 2026, Experience, Lessons Learned, and Beyond. The World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos is not just a meeting. It is where global agendas are shaped and future policies are imagined. To walk us through the overall Davos experience and share insights from a strategic global perspective, I will call on stage a remarkable woman whose dedication, resilience, and unwavering commitment have paved the way for many young women to pursue their ambitions with confidence. In a patriarchal society where professional journeys for women often come with added challenges, because of trailblazers like her, many of us find our workplaces more inclusive and our aspirations more attainable. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Salma Malik, Associate Professor of Defense and Strategic Studies at Qaid-e-Azam University and Director of External Linkages at the same esteemed institution. She will moderate the event as well.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much, Sarish, for such a beautiful and generous introduction. Believe me, I feel so elated already. First of all, my heartfelt gratitude to Ikram Sehgal Saab, to our wonderful host and guest today, the Ambassador of Switzerland, for allowing us to be in his beautiful country and experience so many things firsthand that any amount of conferencing or any amount of education does not prepare us for that. As Sarish was talking about the Davos experience, for me, I was the first timer there, along with few others. And for me, it was a privilege, and also, again, a privilege to share my experience of attending the World Economic Forum 2026 and Davos, primarily the Pakistan Pavilion, which was hosted by the Pathfinder Group for the 22nd consecutive year. And mind you, this is not an initiative by the government, this is not an initiative by industry. It was something done by a civil society organization, primarily a brainchild of a singular person, who has envisioned it and carried this vision on for 22 years, so much so that it has become by itself an institution. And if you were there, you would have then realized what we are talking about. Carrying an entire enterprise, carrying a mini Pakistan all the way to the snowy Davos, and making 3 magical days happen is not a small feat. And for that, we must appreciate not only the Pathfinder team, but of course, the man behind that team, Mr. Ikram Sehgal, who made this all possible. So a big round of applause. And to the Pathfinder Group members, who all work like magicians, to a point that we would think that probably they're not humans. They are existing in a parallel universe. Davos is often described as a gathering of the world's most influential leaders, heads of state, CEOs, policymakers, academics, investors, and thought leaders. But beyond the headlines and high-level meetings, what makes Davos unique is the ecosystem of conversations happening on the margins, where countries tell their stories, where ideas are tested, and where partnerships are born. And that's what the Pakistan Pavilion was, one such extremely powerful platform. This year, the Pavilion curated a series of engagements that collectively presented a multidimensional image of Pakistan, confident, innovative, culturally rich, and forward-looking. Let me begin with the Inspiring Pakistan lunch. This event set the tone for our presence. It was not just a networking opportunity, it was a narrative-building exercise. The message was clear: Pakistan is not merely a country navigating challenges, it is a country of resilience, opportunity, and immense human capital. The conversations were centered on how Pakistan's young population, entrepreneurial energy, and strategic geography position it as a country ready to engage meaningfully with the global economy. The Pakistan breakfast, the next big event, where the Prime Minister of the country was the chief guest, added a strong policy dimension to our engagement. It provided international participants with direct insight into Pakistan's economic direction, reform priorities, and investment climate. More importantly, it demonstrated political ownership of economic transformation. The interaction between policymakers and global stakeholders reinforced that Pakistan is serious about stability, reform, as well as partnerships. One of the most impactful events, in my view, was the lunch dedicated to select Pakistani startups, several of whom sit in this room today, and they'll be given an opportunity to interact with you people shortly. Giving young founders a global stage at Davos was a powerful statement. These entrepreneurs were not just presenting business ideas, they were presenting the future of Pakistan. Their pitches reflected innovation in fintech, climate solutions, digital services, and inclusive platforms. What stood out was their confidence in their global outlook. They were not thinking locally, they were building for regional and global markets. This deliberate spotlight on startups signaled that Pakistan understands the importance of innovative ecosystems and innovation ecosystems as well. It showed support for youth-led enterprises and highlighted the country's potential as a technology and digital services hub. At a forum where global capital meets global ideas, this exposure is invaluable. The second Pakistan Digital Breakfast, where one of the former prime ministers was the chief guest, reinforced continuity of vision. It conveyed the support for digital transformation and innovation, which is not tied to one political cycle, but rather it is a broad national priority. That message of consistency and long-term commitment resonated strongly in a forum like Davos, where investors and partners look for policy predictability and also the commitment a country has to such causes. Beyond business and policy, the pavilion beautifully integrated culture into programming. On both evenings, Pakistan Pavilion had soul music presented through Qawwali nights. The powerful spiritual rhythms of Qawwali created an atmosphere that was both authentic and inviting. Culture has a unique way of building bridges where formal dialogue sometimes cannot. And this is what we experienced firsthand, where we had people from Middle East, people from our neighboring country who sneaked in, but the Middle Easterns who really enjoyed the music and enjoyed the night with us and made it what Sufi night was meant to be in its true flavor. So the many international guests who attended these evenings experienced a deeper, more emotional connection with Pakistan, which was so visible. Through these cultural evenings, we were not just hosting dinners, we were sharing identity. So the cuisine was also very typically Pakistani. The gulab jamuns and the jalebis in the cold of Davos night were a welcoming treat for many of us who were missing the roti and the chapati scene from back home. We were showing that Pakistan's soft power is rich and compelling. In global diplomacy and international business, cultural confidence definitely matters, and that's what was showcased there very naturally. Another important dimension of our presence was the discussion of topical global issues, including gender inclusion, youth empowerment, and sustainable development. These conversations positioned the country as part of a global discourse rather than outside of it, especially when you receive so many negative indicators. Conversations centered around these themes really infused the type of confidence that was required so that Pakistan is seen not just as a participant in the global economy, but as a contributor to global solutions. Equally important was the exposure to other countries' pavilions and corporate events. Walking through Davos, one could see how nations strategically presented themselves, whether through technology showcasing, sustainability initiatives, investment roadmaps, innovation clusters. Observing these comparative positioning was extremely instructive. It highlighted both where Pakistan stands today and where we can further sharpen our narrative. I came away with three major reflections. First, narrative absolutely matters. Countries that proactively shape their story are the ones that attract investment, partnerships, and talent. And the Pakistan Pavilion was and has been an important step in owning our narrative, presenting a confident, forward-looking Pakistan. Second, consistency matters. International stakeholders look for continuity in policy reform and economic direction. The presence of both current and former leadership figured across events subtly communicated institutional continuity and national alignment on key economic priorities, which was extremely important and which was duly noted by those present in the audience. Third, people matter most. The strongest impression we made was not through brochures or presentations, it was through our entrepreneurs, our policymakers, our professionals, our artists, and above all, the Pathfinder group, the team, the family or the clan, whatever we would like to call them. They all acted in a unity, in a one system, highly synced. The human capital of Pakistan is its greatest competitive advantage. DAVOS also reminds me that global engagement is no longer optional. In a deeply interconnected world, economic opportunities are tied to visibility, credibility, and partnerships. Such platforms provide not only access but also legitimacy. Being present, being articulate, and being prepared to engage makes the difference. And that was the hallmark of the Pakistan Pavilion. However, participation must translate into follow-up, conversations in DAVOS, which are a seed. Their value depends on how effectively they are nurtured after the forum ends, through sustained engagement, regulatory reforms, investor facilitation, and ecosystem strengthening. In conclusion, my experience at DAVOS 2026 was both inspiring and instructive. I'm deliberately taking out all the personal and the fun stuff that we did, because then you'll have everyone queuing up outside the Pathfinders offices to attend the next DAVOS. But believe me, it was an experience of a lifetime. It reaffirmed my belief that Pakistan has immense untapped potential. It showed that when we present ourselves strategically, highlighting entrepreneurship, innovation, cultural richness, and policy commitment, we command attention and respect. The Pakistan Pavilion demonstrated that we are not just part of the global conversation, we are ready to shape it. Thank you very much. So with your permission, I would now like to get into our next session. The next session, I would like to request our honorable panelist, who would be talking about celebrating Pakistan Pavilion DAVOS 2026 through the Citadel perspective. For that, I would like to request Air Commodore Farhan Ahmed Saab, if he is around, Imran Jatala Sahab, and some of our young entrepreneurs who were part of the Citadel initiative to come and please take their seats on the stage. As stated, leadership is about vision, and vision is about translating global opportunities into national growth. To set the tone for today's discussion, especially from the Citadel perspective and the startups, which were a highlight of the Pakistan Pavilion at DAVOS recently, we have three of our young entrepreneurs and the Citadel team who was going to speak on various issues. But before that, I would like to invite the team leader, AVM retired Asad Ikram Sahab, who has been instrumental in establishing key organizations, including the Navigation Systems Department at the Advanced Engineering Research Organization, the Telecom and Marketing Department at LT Engineering Limited, and the Aviation Research, Innovation and Development Organizations at the Pakistan Aeronautical Complex. AVM Ikram Saab has a meritorious service over the years, and he is also the recipient of Sitara Imtiaz and Tamgha Imtiaz.
Assalamu alaikum, Excellency, Ambassador from Switzerland to Pakistan, Ikram Sehgal Saab, judges, friends, ladies and gentlemen, especially the young generation back there. Assalamu alaikum. लगता है नाश्ता नहीं किया आप लोगों ने सुबह, ऐसी है? नहीं किया ना? मैंने भी चाय नहीं पी, मेरे भी थोड़ा सा लेवल कम है. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. थोड़ा सा और जोर यार. Thank you. So it's always a great pleasure to be in a room where you have all the generations nearly, and then also people from different segments of society, people from the industry, from the academia, from the rest of the society. Because these are places where you can talk to each other, you can share your perspective of things, and everyone always has a different perspective. And it's only when you understand each other's perspective that you start understanding the whole picture. It also reminds me of one of our great Pakistanis, Sarjada Yaqub Ali Khan. How many of you have heard him or have heard of his name, at the back especially? Good, at least a few. He was a foreign minister for 2 tenures at least. A lot of other things to his credentials. So he's written a book. It's Strategy, Diplomacy, and Humanity. And this person, I also need to tell you that he could fluently talk in 10 languages. A person of great integrity and honor. And that book that he's written, he's got a wonderful tagline there, something that has stuck in my mind for years. It says, "On this earth together." It's such a strong statement. All of us on this earth together. Well, what that means is that, whether we like it or not, we're stuck on this planet together. So either we fight it out amongst ourselves, or we live peacefully, respect each other, and progress together. And I see that within the Pathfinder group. We started off Citadel just about 5 months ago. And I think with the energy that we have, the teamwork that we have at Pathfinder, the leadership that Ikram Sehgal Saab gives, and then the sort of collaboration, cooperation that we've got from everyone around us has brought us to the stage where we have been able to take startups for the first time to DAVOS. And now we're preparing the next batch to go to Jeddah in April this year, inshallah. And it's not just Pakistani startups. Now we have startups from, I think, 16 countries. So that's a big thing. Interestingly, this time around, we opened the applications from the Muslim countries because we signed up a collaboration with the OIC Comstech. And hopefully we'll sign up with Comsats within a month or so and then open up with the rest of the world also. And in that, we have applications from as far as the USA as well. So I think that itself is a testimony to the sort of confidence that people have in the ecosystem that we are developing here in this country. So coming back to DAVOS, I think DAVOS itself was a great experience for us. I was there for the first time, even though I've been to Switzerland a number of times before, but not to DAVOS specifically. And I'm sure the startups, and we'll get to hear from them firsthand, the sort of experience that they've got, not at just our pavilion, but the whole environment of DAVOS. I'm sure it would have transformed the way they look at the world and the way they look at other companies, the way they look at collaborations. But then at Citadel, it's not just the startups that we work on. We also have a vertical that works on youth upskilling. And inshallah, after Eid this year, we will be starting off courses for the youth. In addition to that, we're also working on helping companies go out and compete globally. Just last week, we had a session, we had a workshop done for software companies who want to set up businesses in the USA. And we hope to continue with this as we go along. So with this, I would now like to hand over to the panel here, to Dr. Salma, so that you can hear firsthand from the startups that went there and the team that went there, of their experiences and what they intend to do next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So the composition of our panel is such that we have two of our entrepreneurs, the young leaders, and then we have the Citadel team here. And I think our understanding is that we will allow our young sultans to speak first and tell you people their experience. And then we would request the Citadel team, one after the other, and I will introduce them now, so that our young sultans are all geared up to speak about what they have. And I will also give them this opportunity, Maz and my other friend, Amar, to please introduce yourself and your startup as well. And then you have 3 minutes each to say what you need to do. But let me also bore you people further with my monologue and very quickly introduce you to the Citadel team. Okay, starting with... रहने दें अभी चलें ठीक है. Our Citadel team is very, very humble, so they didn't really want. Actually, yesterday we had a massive argument. Should we really speak? Should we really be on the stage? Why should we be there? They are the ones who need to be put in the forefront. So I concede my moderator's role there, and let's start with the young sultans. Would you like to speak from there, Amar? आप शुरू करेंगे? Okay, there. Amar, the stage is yours. You have the first 3 minutes.
So first of all, thank you everyone for coming on a Saturday morning. Thank you, sir. I would start off with how valuable it is to us, and then I would tell about Switzerland. Sir, first of all, thank you for being a principled entrepreneur. Being a 25-year-old, when I look at people, I want to have great examples, and you are the best. Thank you for providing us this opportunity, because 7 days of Switzerland were way ahead of what I've learned in Pakistan in 2.5 years. The entrepreneurship, the conversations on the trains, people talking about value consistently, the humanity. Thank you to the Swiss ambassador. Thank you for allowing us and giving us this opportunity. You people are amazing. Your food is amazing. To all the startups who are coming here, I'm telling you, I've been telling everyone actually, please apply for DAVOS. We prioritize Leap and all these platforms, ITC and FutureFest, but what Citadel has given us in DAVOS is unbelievable. The amount of access to top tier people, I cannot imagine an environment where everyone's talking about value, everyone's talking about business, and everyone's treating you really well. Everyone believes in each other's potential. No time wasted in 7 days. It was, I don't think it was 7 days, I think it was a month, because everything was happening very quickly. So thank you to the amazing team of Citadel. I believe that young people with our people who are in a bigger age, above their 40s and all, every age group can combine and, do great work for Pakistan. Experience combined with Swiss precision skill can provide great value to this country. Thank you, sir. Thank you for believing in Pakistan. Thank you for believing in us. We're very grateful.
Thank you very much, Amar. The bigger age, 40 plus people actually enjoyed the most when they were traveling by the trains and the buses. So please don't give us that complex, because we were all acting like teenagers on this particular journey of togetherness. So over to you.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning. Before we move into the experience, Aman and I had the opportunity to share this entire experience together because we work in the same company. We're co-founders. We run an AI venture studio out of Islamabad. Starting from the 25th of October, when we stood on this stage for the very first time, It has been an incredible run of preparations, energy, and all of the dopamine that comes with it. So the team has been amazing. The people we went with have been amazing. The training cycles that we went through before Davos actually set the stage of how you go and pitch, how you go and present yourself, how you go and network with different people across the world. I'm happy to know actually that the Pakistan Pavilion had sneaking people from other countries as well, because we also did the same. And we understood that the world is so open, so mature, and so welcoming that you sneak into different people's things, and you learn how amazing they are. And everyone has been amazing. It's not just Pakistan. There's other countries who are doing amazing as well, and they're doing a lot better than us. And it's good to learn from them. And Davos brings that window to the world where you get to learn from them. And we've shared that experience a lot. No matter how chilly it was, it went down to -18 at a moment in time at night once when we were doing like a side event on AI. That didn't stop us. Nothing stops you. You're so energetic at that moment. You want to capture everything. Everyone there is coming for value. They like conversations, right? They like eating good cheese. We love that. They like eating good chocolate, but they also like to make money. Everyone wants to make money, so they come there for a reason. They come there for a very particular growth mindset that we went for as well. And I think Davos, like he rightfully said, there's several places in the world that you can go to. But when you're at that promenade in Davos, there's nothing better than that. It feels premium to you. I ran into so many amazing people randomly. I was also in the annual meeting itself. But the entire city, the entire town, it's something else. I don't think I can explain it into a couple of words. Maybe an entire newsletter wouldn't be enough to do that. So thank you, Ikram Saab. We would love to see a lot more Pakistani representation there. I had so many amazing Indian entrepreneurs who were my friends, and they were all there. 200 of them, 10 of us. There's a huge difference, but we're going to fill that gap. That 190 is going to be filled very soon, inshallah. Thank you to the Swiss ambassador. We have a wonderful country. We've already made wonderful business out of it. Some of the best youth that we've seen. They're very relaxed, and we like that because we're not. But that's the right synergy to meet. So thank you for this opportunity. And all of the people who are coming here for Jeddah and for other ventures after Jeddah, don't miss out. There's a lot that we can do. Thank you.
Besides so many other positives that Switzerland has, even if they just rely on the Davos summit and the chocolates, they can survive for ages. I mean, the amount of chocolates the Pakistan Pavilion participants purchased and also tried to get from as freebies from other pavilions, even if we had just weighed them and not eaten half of them while we were there, was more than the luggage allowance that we had. But that's part of the game. So our third Sultan, Saad, adversity. Your 3 minutes.
So I think Maz and Aman has already spoken a lot about the overall experience, and we were together. So, it will be bigger. I was expecting this, but the experience that we have gotten from Davos was truly amazing in the sense that we were expecting it to be bigger, but it was the biggest experience I have ever had in my life. Why? Because I was when we were planning for Davos, I was planning that we'll go there, we'll enjoy some time in Davos, and there will be a conference happening there, and then we'll go there and we'll meet some people. And this was like my perception about it was my perception about the overall Switzerland experience. But when we were in Zurich, so Aman and I were together, and we were in a train station, and a friend called me. He said, "What you're doing?" I said that we are going for the food. He said, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You're going for a food at 8 a.m. You should be in Davos." And that was that experience that changed our whole 4 days, because at 8 a.m. we were there in Davos, and the whole thing was superb. We have never imagined that kind of experience. It was a whole city, and the first person we met, he said, "I am a blockchain VC, and I expanded from Africa to the Asian region, and I launched Binance, HTX, what. And we said, wow, this was the first person that we met. And then, we left that hall, the Web3 hub, and then we went to second one. And me and Aman, we were in the queue for the US, for the AI house. And, people, the US senators, the US industry people, they said that even us, we are standing in the queues for about 30, 40 minutes, and you're expecting it to be in, just on the go. And that was the experience, that was so enriching and that was so powerful, because we have met so many people, so many amazing people. By the way, with all due respect, I want to share one success story. We met one of the founders and one of the board directors of one of the largest blockchains of the world. Its name is Zero Gravity. I met them, me and Aman met them, and they said that we have $88 million ecosystem fund, and Pakistan is on our top priority list for that ecosystem fund. And we were unable to execute this because we have no connections. And just before coming here yesterday, he called me, he said, Saad, we are coming, and we are coming with our whole developer ecosystem to Pakistan. And this is the first success story that we have received from the DAVOS experience. In addition to this, we were together, we went to a lot of parties, we did a lot of parties, we enjoyed this whole experience because we were in a community where everyone was there to network. One thing that we do wrong generally in conferences, we try to sell ourselves. My decision that I won't sell, everything. I was there to network with people, to make connections, and this is what we did. And the Pakistani pavilion was amazing. We met a lot of people that, we wanted to meet in Pakistan as well. And it was a crazy experience, I would say. It was a very different experience. I mean, words can't explain that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sagar. You're actually snatching away some of the questions that I had planned for you, so that's why that was the cue for you to exit here. And now to the humble lot of the Citadel. Allow me at least to introduce you people, although you can see their very brief profiles on the screen. But we have with us, other than AVM Asad Ikram Sahab, starting with the youngest member of the team, Imran Jatala Sahab, who founded the National Incubation Center for Aerospace Technology, NICAT, and is a prominent figure in global innovation landscape. He is recognized for his pioneering work in establishing the first aerospace and deep tech incubation center in South Asia and the Middle East. A passionate advocate for innovation, Imran has played a key role in leading large-scale innovation programs throughout Pakistan and the MENA region. And being the insider in the entire DAVOS plan, Imran Sahab had two things. Either he would work, or he would, without any issues, even if there were bombs being set out outside, go in a snooze mode. And he would enjoy his sleep like anything. While you were clicking away all the mountains, our bus driver, who had some fascination for Mont Blanc, at least sold 20 peaks to us by saying, this is the Mont Blanc. And Imran Sahab slept through all of them. Hats off to him. But at the same time, as he was passionate about his beauty sleep, he was more passionate about what was happening at the DAVOS, at the Citadel Pavilion, and his young sultans, how they steered the group. So Imran Sahab, wonderful work done. Air Commodore retired Farhan Ahmed Saab, who's the director at Citadel, holds a 32 years of distinguished service in the Pakistan Air Force. He has been at the forefront of shaping our country's aerospace vision. Alongside, he's also the managing partner of Innovator Garage International, where he brings strategic leadership to innovation, human resource development, and project management. The government of Pakistan has honored him with Sitara Imtiaz military as well as Tamgha Imtiaz military. Wonderful. So you have very decorative people in the Citadel. The third and the last member in the team to be introduced, Air Commodore retired Khalid Banoori Sahab, who has a diverse 44 years of experience in public service, aviation, training, education, and outreach. His expertise lies in senior level management, policy analysis, research, lecturing, and writing. He has contributed extensively to policymaking in several areas, such as arms control and diplomacy, nuclear, missiles, space, chemical, biological control, strategic experts control, South Asian security and policy and international law. Sir, किसी के लिए कुछ और भी छोड़ दें, सब कुछ ही आपने करना है. In recognition of his outstanding contributions, the government of Pakistan honored him with 2 prestigious awards, a Civil Award of Sitara-e-Imtiaz for excellence in policy analysis and a Sitara-e-Imtiaz military for his dedicated services to the Pakistan Air Force. So this is the Citadel team, the very humble. And then we have some other young members whom we are going to introduce as we go by it. To the Citadel team, what were the challenges you were foreseeing before heading to Davos? And how did you find the overall environment? Because the excitement part we have left to the younger sultans. You guys were not excited. You were very tense in things going right. So did this overall experience really meet your expectations? A minute each from all 3 of you. Imran Sahab, starting with you.
Chairman Sahab, Your Excellency, I'm trying to put my feelings and thoughts into words, but the moment we realized that we are going to Davos, and we are going to set up a startup pavilion over there, to me, literally it has been a roller coaster ride. We try to bring in the best people, like the young sultans. We try to headhunt the best younger lot in Pakistan, and then to design a process where in a very structured way, in a transparent, judged way, we select the best of the best from Pakistan. And being an ecosystem builder, my passion really is to infect these younger ones with this type of dopamine, where they don't go for cheap dopamine or posting on social media and doing other crazy stuff. Rather, they should be addicted with this type of dopamine, that they're making social progress. They're solving challenges of Pakistan. They're building things, and they get addicted to this. And this, if rightly done to like 10 million youth of Pakistan, we are 5th largest nation, and if we build like 5,000 good startups, we'll be moving needle on Pakistan's GDP. That really has been the passion. And the government of Pakistan roughly invested 150 to 200 million dollars in last 1 decade into startup ecosystem. And I'm saying this because a lot of people ask, what's the business case that why a government should invest in startup ecosystem? And the Pakistani startups in last 7 years has raised $1 billion in investment. So this is like roughly 15x ROI. I really can't see any industry providing this ROI. And on top of that, then people like Ikram Sehgal Sahab coming up with a vision that we need to set up a private sector innovation ecosystem. That really is the game changer then. Then private.
Imran Sahab, if you allow me to take a pause, because this was my next question. Both you and Farhan Sahab, as well as Asad Sahab, have had experience working with the government sector ecosystems in that regard. Farhan Sahab, my question to you would be, and of course, Imran, aap zarur isko respond kare, if you need to add to that. How different did you find this private ecosystem from a government thing? And of course, we're not making comparison as to belittle anything, but is there more space for such things? Because a lay person like me feels, oh, now this is the trending thing, so everyone is doing this. Is really that the issue, or we still need more of such ecosystems to prop up?
Assalamu alaikum, gentlemen. Your Excellency, Chairman Sahab. As I see it, the difference between the government and the initiative that we took, I've been a part of government startup ecosystem also. I've seen it a lot, worked there a lot. The difference is energy. The difference is focus. Difference one is doing it for number of reasons. But if I put it to the initiative that we are doing, there's only one reason. And that reason is Pakistan. I look Davos at a complete different perspective. We do it, government do it to generate economic activity into the countries, which is a good thing, it has to be done. And that is one very effective way of doing it. But the question mark is, why we are doing it? You know, we talk about the potential, Pakistan has potential. Pakistan is a real resilience nation. You look at the Davos, we took the talent of Pakistan to Davos to manifest the resilience of Pakistan at the global stage. To show people the real stories of Pakistan, the real face of Pakistan, and the passion that goes along with this whole exercise, which actually overwhelmed the entire team at some point in time, because the window that was available to do the job, the training cycle that we have to take, and the kind of platform that we have to present. So we have to prepare a lot these young sultans to reach to that level where we can do. So the real difference, as I see it, is the focus, passion, and the energy, which was there in our case. Thank you.
Wonderful. Khalid, your experience.
Thank you. What I want to focus on is the context that I see of Davos. I have followed the proceedings at Davos for some years, although this was my first time as well. And I was very curious of how it would turn out in actuality. The only thing that was told was the weather, but the energy and warmth remained completely in that situation. The other two things that I think I have an Air Force background, so the inherent flexibility of the Air Force is something that we did experience in this situation. When Ikram Sehgal sprung this idea that, and by starting to say, I know the time is short, but can you do this? And this was taken as a challenge, and then we went into a frenzy to actually prepare. And it was very heartening to see how successful that thing was. So I think despite the fact that for 22 years, Ikram Sehgal and his Pathfinder group has created a national asset consistently, this one was even better. This was even better because of reasons of how it is looking at the way the world is changing, and we are ready for that challenge. So what this told us was, this is a process that we have covered. These young men and some women who went along came around doing the same thing to show that they were not looking for funding, but they were showing that they have the technological prowess and they can bring new ideas to the table. So this was the process which changed, and in my view, Davos 2026 has built a narrative for Pakistan which is better than what we had. Pakistan has arrived.
Through our journey preparing for the start of there's another experience that's come my way, as a matter of fact. It was very pleasant. I was pleasantly surprised, encouraged. The way industry responded to us. One call, short notice, judges were all forthcoming to support us. Industry leaders were forthcoming to guide these young entrepreneurs and spared their times for no honorarium, no nothing, just voluntary working, all for Pakistan.
Ji, Imran Sir.
Building on Davos 2026, there is 2 decades of legacy behind Pakistan Pavilion, which Ikram Sahab has built at Davos. And now building on top of that, Citadel is not just for Pathfinder Group. It's an innovation ecosystem where we have the mandate and the support to build collaborations nationwide and internationally, globally. So National Center for Physics, Dr. Saab, we're coming to you. Brigadier Chima Saab, Silicon Village and Capital Smart City, we're coming to you. Then Air University, Focus Saab. So we're coming to you for partnerships. And we want that Citadel becomes the premier innovation ecosystem in Pakistan, linking everyone doing in public or private sector any innovation or startup work in Pakistan.
We have Mohib joining us. Mohib, can you kindly pass on the mic to Mohib? Mohib Mirza represents AI Team Force. Yep. Yeah. So Mohib, you have your 3 minutes. Your other colleagues were asked to introduce themselves and also talk about the DAVOS experience. After that, I'm going to come to all three of you talking about what your startups were and also some other pinpointed questions. So you have your 3 minutes.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mohib Mirza. I am the co-founder and CTO of AI Team Force. I was fortunate enough to be part of this excellent delegation led by Mr. Ikram and the excellent colleagues that we have on the panel right here. So my one highlight from Davos was definitely traveling in a new place, being in a territory and representing your own nation. That is one thing that stood by me every single day while we were there for the Pakistan breakfast, while we were talking to foreigners, while we were talking to Europeans. And one thing that we all brought there was the Pakistani energy, was the Pakistani vision that stood out there as well. So I think we did an excellent job, and that is one thing that I learned from that experience. I was part of a very experienced delegation. I got to meet a lot of mentors, the relevant partners there, and we benefited a lot from that. Far more than business, we grew personally in a way that is going to stick by us for a couple of decades to come. So yeah, it was an excellent experience. I was fortunate enough to be part of this excellent delegation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohib. I would borrow from Khalid's last point that he has raised. Pakistan has arrived, and the need to build a narrative. And that is something which is very important when you really want to arrive on a scene. But, mashallah, Pakistan has arrived, and this is the point. So starting from the last end, our young entrepreneur, my question to each one of you now would be, just very quickly introduce what your startup was about. And then secondly, when you were there, what type of a question was repeatedly asked from you people when you were trying to pitch your product to the VCs and to the various people that you met there? So if we can have your word on that.
Am I audible? Yes. So Mars can tell better about what we do. I would like to answer the second question. Interestingly, we weren't expecting a lot of people to ask us the question, how can we invest? That was the best part. A lot of people coming in asking what is in it for us, how can we invest in. They weren't expecting this level of technology from us. It was very fascinating from them because generally from this region it's not very tech savvy. It has started becoming tech savvy, but now when we were there, everyone, every nation, there were people from every nation, they were like, how can we invest? And this fascinates us. It means that you've done some work, you've provided some value, you've built something, and that's the very reason they're asking you this particular question, how can we invest? It makes us proud.
Interestingly, apart from the question on how can we invest, we actually, Aman and I got a question on, can you invest in us? Given the things that we were doing. And interestingly, we are actually investing in the team. It's a startup in Paris that works in health sciences, devising a longevity plan using tech and AI, and we're actually investing money in them first and then a bit of our AI tech that we're currently doing the due diligence for. So when Khalid Saab said Pakistan has arrived, it hasn't arrived to receive, it has also arrived to give. We had a meeting just yesterday with a solopreneur from Canada who we met at Davos, Aman, Elaine. And when we demoed our full suite of what we've done in terms of products that we've co-built or ventures that we have launched, he said, you don't need my help. I may need your help in things that I'm investing on. And you might need to build things for us there. And that's what we do primarily. If I am to introduce our company, Vector, which I and Aman represent, we build things for people and we build things with people. AI native to be specific. We have built multiple API first platforms. We've also built Pakistan's first few language models and speech models that you're already using and you don't know about them and you'll be using them more often. We've introduced them in our pitches before, so I'll not touch them today. But we build. We build for everyone. There's no borders that we see, so we've built across the border. We've built overseas. We power some of the biggest hotlines across the world for different countries and governments that they don't know about because we're a corporate company, right? That works with multiple other ventures and serves them. It has been interesting. And Pakistan has definitely arrived, and I'm seeing the respect coming in with the things that we do. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. As you know, I'm the founder of AI Team Force. What we're doing is we are building a sales platform that allows anyone to get more business. So we are all in the business field, right? And the way we get more people to come to us is sales. That is what we do. We make it easy for you. Via our platform, we have an AI platform and a suite of applications that make it super, super simple for you. As for the question that you were asked, and one thing that was very fascinating to me was that sitting in Pakistan, we always like to believe that we're left behind from the international technology and the international AI wave. But when we were there, when we were talking to people, like Mas said, can you invest in us? That was a narrative that was being pushed around as well. So we are not behind, instead we are leading that wave. We are some of the companies here as well. They are pioneers in the field. And that was really fresh to see there that, we're not behind. We are the competition. We are leading that change. So that was sort of a conversation that I'd love to lead as peers instead of somebody who's just there to learn. So we were not only getting value, but translating and giving value to the people there, which is really fascinating for me. So yeah, that is what we're building, and that was my experience from Davos.
I'm Saad, by the way, and I run a company called with an E, and we upskill and reskill people in high emerging technology. Thing that we're doing is we have a lot of young sultans sitting here in front of you, and I'm sure in the audience as well. But these young sultans are here because they got the right pathway. But there are a lot of people who are, we always say that Pakistan is full of potential, is full of talent, but that is a raw talent, and we need to channelize that talent. So what we do is we, do work in the production side, how to train people, where to train people, and what to train, right? So we are we have been doing this work for like 4 years now, and we have placed a lot of people, we have trained a lot of people are entrepreneurs now. So this is the work we do. I think there is no one question that was repeatedly asked by me, but the thing that Pakistan is a very tech savvy country, and we develop tech, and we do a lot of good work. The only feedback that was given to me and to adversity was that we want to come to Pakistan, we want to source talent from Pakistan, so make easy pathways for us to get that talent, because the international talent is we always say that it's expensive, and Pakistan can export less expensive talent and high tech savvy talent. So the only feedback that we got from the Davos experience and from the people that we have met, especially the international people, was please give us access to the talent that you have in Pakistan. And Maz has given you the feedback already on how they were experiencing us to be with them.
We being Citadel, we're in upskilling, and that's where we have overlap with adversity. And out of our Davos travel and working with Saad, we have worked out a collaboration with adversity, sir, where, with your permission, sir, we're announcing from this stage that AI, cybersecurity, and blockchain trainings, Citadel and adversity is launching it. Launching means the day one of the class would be first week of April 2026.
Okay, so would these select startups always remain your preferred babies? Or are you going to adopt more babies as the time goes? Because the first kids are always the most favorite, the most focused, the most experimented upon. Farhan Sahab, what do you say?
They're going to be our babies, and we want to make a very big family out of it. We'll continue to adopt more and more, but said it very rightly, they're going to be the pioneers, and they're going to be the most dearest one. Thank you.
Khalid sir, Saad, I'll come back to you. You have a lot of experience in leadership, especially Gen Z leadership training. What are your takeaways from these set of young Gen Zs, whom otherwise we would totally write off like "bacche hain"? What do they know? So, how was your experience traveling with them, coexisting with them in that very, very nuanced environment? Um, Pakistan has arrived. Have they arrived?
Thank you for this question. I think it's very important to deal with this. I think Gen Z in a Pakistani context is a misnomer. Many of the people who fall in that age bracket, they are not necessarily that kind of thinking which is seen globally. There are some Gen Zs who are at heart boomers or millennials and so on and so forth. So one has to look at what their experience is and what their outlook is. The group that you see here on the stage and elsewhere, and the ones who went along, are the true depiction of sustained hard work, of those who welcome a failure and then learn a lesson out of it and go forward. I have always told various young groups of young people that I believe in your potential, but you have to work terribly hard to actually be there. And these gentlemen and ladies are the ones who understand this and are resilient about it. I have not experienced so far with the ones that came along to Davos who are overwhelmed by time or challenge. There might be situations in which they would be like this. So here's a takeaway from this situation. Don't look at Gen Z as one homogeneous outlook. There are people who think that they have the potential, they have the right, we will be running this country forever, etc., but they're also lazy. Not these ones. These are the ones who are resilient, who are confident about their quality of work, and who are willing to accept challenges. So that's the difference that I saw. And I believe there are several others who will take inspiration from them. And right here on this forum, we once did a mentorship for young people by various experts. Some of those experts are also here right now on the stage. And we actually told them, wherever you are, wherever you think you are, get better. And there were some young entrepreneurs who came and talked about their success stories. And several at least came to me, and I'm sure they went to others to say, I want to be like this person. This person is almost my age and successful. I'm going to do this, the determination that I saw. So the inspiration is spreading. And that's the thing we need to focus on. Surely there are anxieties about work, about the time that they think they need to catch up on. But overall, it's a very, very welcome experience.
Am I jumping the gun if I ask Farhan sir about the Jeddah experience, or shall we just leave it for Sarah or Zaire in the next session? But if you can just sort of link up a little bit about the journey from Davos to Jeddah. The young sultans are going to pitch today, and any possible startups. As the ecosystem director or manager or team lead, however you would like to be called, what do you look for a startup when they come and pitch their venture to you?
Well, I leave that part to the judges, frankly speaking, what they look for, because as a policy of the Citadel and given by our chairman, that all judgment and such decision will be external to the judges. Nevertheless, once we have the startup with us, what we're looking for, the team, the focus, the gelling of the team. I would say there may be little hiccups into their pitching, there may be little hiccup in their selling part of it and the tech part of it. That can be corrected as long as the attitude and the team gelling is there. Rest of the thing can be adjusted to. Yes, that has to be that.
If I may add for the audience, and please correct me if I'm wrong, being there, and I was hardly familiar with how the startups who were there were handpicked and selected. I mean, to me, everyone would look great. But I did overhear Sehgal Saab telling someone that it was a very tough job, whom to bring to Davos. But actually what we went for, those startups, which would be for public good and helping more disadvantaged economically and socially people in improving their quality of life. So that is the human value that you have talked about, the teamwork, having that empathetic viewpoint and all that, that goes with making a team actually part of a family. So wonderful, hats off to you people. Saad,
I just want to touch
Gigi,
about
please.
the
please.
Jeddah part of it. As a matter of
Ji.
fact, as you see that we've been talking through our previous sessions that collaborate, share, and that's your pathway to the exponential growth. Our plan was, once we ventured into the Jeddah, and as per the vision, which I don't know how he conceived these visions, and then seeing I must say, way beyond the horizon, let's take the OIC region into our folds and unfold the program of Citadel to OIC region. I was a little apprehensive in the beginning that not much people would come in. But to our surprise, I've already been shared with Asad, that total of 56 startups applied from, not only from OIC countries, from all around the world. That includes Amsterdam, Denmark, USA, UK, and there is one other country that I'm forgetting. Sweden, yes. And they all were international startups. They applied, I would say that is the message that we sent across the globe through this platform of DAVOS, which was provided by Pathfinder. Our ecosystem is known to the globe, to the world. We manifested our prowess, tech prowess, to the globe. So that is the right takeaway for us and very encouraging for our team.
Starting from you, Saad, what do you really need from Pakistan's ecosystem to scale now? And if you had prior and continued institutional support, how much faster could you grow?
I think a lot faster. The reason is that at the stage where we are, we are now beyond, going from titles, right? We need collaborations, we need partnerships, and we need business to sustain. I firmly believe that if your company and if your startup is not generating revenue and not sustaining itself, you should think about it. And I think the only thing for now that we need the most from this ecosystem is that we need more collaborations, we need more partnerships, and we need to open more business avenues from where we can generate more revenue to sustain ourselves and to grow ourselves as well. And at this stage, I'm truly thankful to this group as well, to our, I call this as a family now, right? Because we have spent a lot of days in Davos. I was in Lahore. Farhan Saab called me that you have to be here. I'm here now, right? And whenever he will, invite me, I will be there on a one call, right? So this is an experience and this is a family. So, thankful to the group that, they have given us as well an opportunity, which, Imran Saab recently mentioned, that, we will be partner in business now, right? We need more such opportunities. And, if all of, any one of you, you are interested in speaking to us, we are here. We'd love to collaborate, and we need to, open such things for us and for our business as well so that we can grow.
Plainly patronage,
Yeah.
it is partnership.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is the word, from patronage to partnership. Ji, Mohit.
Absolutely, just building on top of what Saad said, what a beautiful thing, right? That we are part of a family now, and a family is only going to grow further. The bond is just going to grow stronger. So we don't feel like we're here as guests. We feel like we've been called here as part of that family. What we need is more platforms like the Pathfinder Group has initiated. So anything that allows the young youth to be given an opportunity, anybody from any city of Pakistan, like they said, even from the underserved markets and underserved areas, can go to an area like Davos and be part of that global ecosystem. And that is only going to be possible when leaders like Sarikram and the Pathfinder Group give them that opportunity, that it is for everyone and not for somebody who has decades of experience. So, because I relate with that story, I come from a background where I dropped out of MBBS and I don't have any academic record. And when I came here and I pitched it, the only thing I had was the story and the vision and the drive. And I think that really stuck with the judges as well. So one takeaway would be that be yourself, go for the thing that you really believe in, and you're going to be sitting on this stage one day as well.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Mohib. Imran? The young G. Maz and...
So I'm going to take a different turn, and it's not controversial, but it's something that I feel like we should definitely think about. First things first, when we went to Davos, we realized that we don't align with the Western playbooks. We come from a South Asian part of the world that has a completely different dynamic of how we do things, what cultural values we bring, or what sort of personality traits we bring. And they need to be aligned with a different playbook, not from a Y Combinator playbook. And I don't read a lot of YC because I don't relate to the entrepreneurs of YC. What I do is I relate to entrepreneurs from other South Asian countries. And I did ask this question to our finance minister that wasn't taken very nicely by our neighboring country, and they posted an entire snippet of the video from the annual meeting where I asked that question from the finance minister with not very good words, but that's fine. Some people did actually take it as a positive indication. So my positive indication is when I was sitting on the table at the annual meeting it was called the South Asian table. 6 people from India, 2 people from Bangladesh, 1 from Nepal, 1 from Pakistan, 1 from Afghanistan. So the Pakistani representation is lacking. Lutfi Siddiqui, one of the ministers from Bangladesh, from the interim government, had absolutely amazing things to say about the Bangladesh ecosystem. So I've been following Dr. Yunus for the past 1.5 years, and there's people that we need to look up to, and they're not in the West, they're right across the borders. There's amazing entrepreneurs. And even when we talk about Pakistan, we don't need governments and ministers and advisors to be our representations. We need people like Ikram Saab. Thank you, Salman Bhai, for introducing me to Ikram Saab as well 1.5 years ago we met. I've been following Hussain Daud Saab. I've been following Arif Habib Saab, Syed Babar Ali. We need to actually start following these people, and we need to be introduced to them more often. Maybe the government can do, what they can do is introduce them to us. We don't want to sit with leaders who are not going to be in governments maybe 2 years later or 3 years later, and that keeps changing. We need conglomerates that we can meet because they're going to be there for decades. So maybe that's the thing we need. I feel it that way. Sorry.
What I would like to say is that one of the biggest challenges that we face, like I am in AI, working in an AI venture studio, right? I need the top AI talent. Pakistan has started producing it from the last 3 years. And it's very unfortunate that 70% of our seniors, people who were more skilled than us, left Pakistan. So I believe there is a gap between the understanding of where Pakistan stands, and this gap needs to be filled. People need to get their trust that this is the country where you can build from your country, for your country, and for your people. And we need to make people realize that if you are leaving, it is damaging us. Preparing a talent for 2 years and then suddenly them leaving for an educational purpose actually makes us sad. We have to prepare a talent. Brain drain is an actual problem. Apart from that, thank you, sir. I cannot put it into words how grateful I am to you, because if one sir, Ikram Sehgal Saab, can do it, there are 10 more conglomerates in Pakistan who can do it. And actually, we only need people like Ikram Sehgal Saab.
But actually, there's only one Ikram Sehgal. So you guys have to become innovative enough and clone him so that we can have an Ikram Sehgal beta model in every city and have the citadels and the startups. Khalid sir?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to take on from the last point and say that what does DAVOS do? DAVOS gives access, right? What Ikram Sehgal does is to facilitate that access. But what is really the challenge thereafter is sustainability. And for sustainability, there's a lot of hard work that we are fortunate that these people are willing to do that hard work because it's a win-win. So Citadel is the institution that has actually been made to facilitate, to create a win-win for them. If there are gaps in trainings, if there are challenges which need to be solved by others, so there's an institution that exists now. So it fills the gap. It depends on how much interactive Citadel as an institution becomes with the people who actually are interested to proceed further, and then the real force will come out through the absolute win-win of everyone, private sector, basically the private sector.
Khalid, if I can also ask you if you have any last-minute takeaways, and then I'll just give you people half a minute each for your last words before I open the floor for limited Q&A. Khalid?
Yeah, I think I'll carry on with what I started by saying that, once you achieve some success, that is the time to think of the next steps instead of just being overwhelmed with, we did very well. That's the kind of resilience I see in these people, the confidence and the resilience. And I have been skeptical about some situations, and I have probed, asked questions to understand how much of resilience actually exists. Can they sustain the pressures? And I'm happy to report that I have, at least the people that I've talked to, I see that that is quite sustainable. So institutions exist. The process matters now of how do we take forward.
Perfect, perfect. Imran sir, aap kya kehte hain?
I would like to conclude and build on two phrases which I am very happy to steal from my colleagues. One, Pakistan has arrived. And second, in terms of Citadel, from what you said, from patronage to partnership.
From patronage to partnership.
So,
Absolutely.
these are the two takeaways for me, and
Perfect.
I would like to write a blog today that Pakistan has arrived.
The right takeaway for me, as a matter of fact, and for all of us, as been said a number of times, and it's been in our religious books also, if you want to grow, share. If you want to go stronger, collaborate. Don't wait. Take the steps. कोई और आपके लिए, nobody else would do a job for you. Don't wait for others to start up a thing. He started alone, took a step, a lot of risk, and this is where we are. And that's the step that we all have to take. We all have to hold hand, collaborate, and move forward. We find a good guy, energy, it's aligning with our vision, we brought them at home. And not only that, we are launching in Islam in April, sir, and inshallah, May we'll be heading up in Karachi, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I think just to let everyone know, pulling off an event is one thing, but then what's important is what to do after this. And I want to report that we are following up with people who are at DAVOS, with investors. We've had a number of online meetings already with them. The startups themselves are also doing that. So we have to complete that cycle. That's important. It's never easy. It's difficult, but it has to be done. And what has to be done has to be done.
Okay.
So
So that after this, we can have the video.
I think the last final thing from my side is for all the startups, because they are the people who will be coming next. Whatever happens today, please stay connected with these people. Please stay connected for much more opportunities, because I'm telling you, the World Economic Forum is a life-changing experience. Before going there, I was also not expecting what happened with us, right? So please take this opportunity. If you are not selected today, come again in the next cohort with a preparation to do that. But this should be your first priority step. You have to go to World Economic Forum, because this will be a life-changing experience for all of you guys. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. As Saad said, it was a life-changing experience for all of us. I think I can speak for all of us. We're all in the AI industry. That the narrative is changing, and we are seeing that Pakistan is taking a very head-first approach towards sovereignty and control towards the local AI. So my takeaway, my advice would be for anybody who's building here, build locally and take pride in it. that you're building locally for Pakistan?
And half a minute.
Last but not the least, as Khalid Saab and Farhan Saab mentioned that Citadel is starting the courses, please get enrolled because, as I mentioned in my last point, engineers from the degrees are not enough. You have to step in. You have to manage this gap, one. Secondly, everyone sitting in this room, when we started off, when we came here for the first time, we didn't know anyone. Then we networked. Now, this is a family. I know like 50% of the people in the room. Connect with each other on LinkedIn. Take WhatsApp. Be a super connector. And last but not the least, sir, you are at an age where you have seen everything, and I have nothing that I can do for you. But I promise you, with my friends and colleagues, the people who went there, that 5 years from now, we would have our own companies in Pakistan Pavilion representing Pakistan. This is a promise.
Using my personal bias, Khalid, 30 seconds,
Yes.
15 seconds.
Just a one-liner, something that has happened consistently but hasn't been talked about. The Pathfinder family's immaculate teamwork has set an example that all of us need to emulate.
So from young individuals to sultans to citizen ambassadors, Citadel's ambassadors, Pakistan Pavilion and Pathfinder's ambassadors, that was a wonderful journey that we had. Before I open the floor for a very short round of questions, so please keep them very precise and pinpointed, can we have our video? Ladies and gentlemen, that was DAVOS in 1 minute. There are so many people sitting in this audience right now and many others who are at this moment placed in their stations across the country doing the work what Pathfinders Group is proud of and busy doing. I personally would like to offer my deepest gratitude. Salman Sahab, I see you sitting in the audience, who was a massive troubleshooter, who kept the humor alive, who absolutely did not let us sit still for more than 5 minutes. He had something up his shoulder, and he had to, tell us to do something, and believe me, so many things became possible. The dreams turned into reality. The point of sharing together to grow from prosperity by collaborating, from the point that was said that many big names in the room that we talk about, we hear about, we read in the newspapers, not only shared the space with the young sultans, but they became friends. They were on first name basis. And that was primarily the magic the Pakistan Pavilion had to pull. And I think this magic is being realized since the last 22 years, and we wish this to continue, inshallah, for another 2 to 3 to 10 decades from now. जब तक हमारी ज़िंदगी है हम तो जाते रहे. ठीक है, so my vision is limited to 20 years only. आखिरी मेरा पाकिस्तान पवेलियन wheelchair पे शायद हो, but हो ज़रूर. Right? Sehgal sir, please do remember me. So with that, I open the floor for any Q&A, but please no comments. Madam.
For the Citadel team, I just wanted to ask you that I really appreciate the fact that you guys put together something awesome at such a short notice. But I just wanted to ask that there's a certain lack of diversity among the startups. Was that because there were not a lot of startup founders that applied, or like, just wanted to understand more about that? Thank you so much.
Okay, shall we collect the questions and then you people can respond together? Right, that might save us more time. Sir.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. I don't have any questions. A minute I'll take. Pathfinder Group, empowering challenge into opportunity. This is the man who is sitting in the green sweater, has always been doing.
MashaAllah.
And I'm very thankful to each one of you to be here and on part of Pathfinder Group, and especially mentioning the Pathfinder Interfaith Harmony initiative taken by Mr. Sehgal, and giving all the communities the opportunity to sit together, to work together, is not an easy thing. Brigadier Mujahid is sitting here, he's leading the team, and I know this is not the forum for that, but I would like to take an opportunity to tell you that this is what has been doing, Mr. Sehgal has been doing from the last, I know him 26 years. And that is not empowering Pathfinder Group, it's empowering our beloved country, Pakistan.
Absolutely.
And sitting over here and having you guys over here, I would say, as a strong nation, we have to be united. We have to be one as Pakistanis. Thank you very much.
Any questions from the young audience sitting at the back? Any of the startups who have? Ji, please.
My question is, Citadel is upscaling platforms. I would like to know as a student, but for students, how can university students of BS level learn from it? Thank you.
Wonderful. Great question. A last question from the back. Ji, beta.
But I would like to ask it from the young ones on the stage, that he was mentioning that they don't go for the short-term dopamine, but they rather go for the long-term one. So I would like to ask that what was the motivation behind it? Because as Gen Zs, I believe that most of us young ones do, go through that, and we are mostly going towards the short-term dopamine rather than the long one. So I would like to ask that what's the motivation behind it, and like, how do you do
short-term dopamine
it?
हमने आपको इस वीडियो में दिखा दी, इससे आप long-term dose के लिए चले
तो वही
जाएं,
मैं कहना
ठीक है?
चाहती हूँ कि like what's
Okay.
like how do you
Fair
guys
enough.
do it?
Great. I think we have 4 questions, and that's about it. Imran sir, starting with you.
Dopamine is one. Dopamine addiction, by definition, is not good, by the way. It's serotonin, the other thing, actually, which is the long term. And that is social gain, when you become a better human being. So target for that, serotonin, where you continuously try to become a better human being and you make social progress. And that's a
Wonderful.
better thing.
Thank you so much. Let's just keep जी जिसने जो respond करना है खालिद आपने
Sir, it's answering to the
फरहान
question
साहब.
to ma'am you. We have a broad spectrum of all the fields into it. However, we are presently targeting the digital part of it. That means that includes fintech, health tech, ed tech, and anything that has the tech into it. That is completely open for, and you or anybody from all across the country can apply, and now all across the OIS region and the world can apply, and the platform is available for all.
Wonderful.
Have I answered your question?
Ji, can we then have it in, I'm so sorry, we are pressed for time. Khalid, if you can respond to the college and bachelor's level students' question. Ji.
to answer this question, what we've been doing here is expose Gen Z, which is typically BS students, to various ideas about how to be resilient with an all-round personality that has been happening right in this room for several months. Depending on the kind of subject that you're following in your degrees, there are opportunities that will come in handy when you start to look at this. What is typical of the Gen Z is the anxiety or the kind of the discipline of the timing and all. So what we do here, and if you look at you don't look at the acronym only, but read what Citadel is all about. It looks at every aspect and gives opportunity to everyone. So innovation, technological advancement, digital entrepreneurs, and leadership. But these are no clearly divided sections. They contribute to an overall personality. A piece of pie for everyone who's interested and is willing to work. Thank you.
Okay, great.
The registration will be open by the next week, and you can see the topics and the prereq for that registration. You can apply for that.
Wonderful. Any of the young entrepreneurs wants to? Mohib?
I guess her question was related to the relatively, I mean, Farhan Saab सबसे youngest है यहाँ पे, but to answer your question, I think it's like she said, when you look at a platform like DAVOS, you get a fire inside you, right? When I came here to pitch, I was coming from an 8-hour flight. I flew in from Bangkok to Lahore. I didn't sleep all night. I drove to Islamabad. मैं उठा साथ ही में आ गया. So I think that drive inside of you really pushes you beyond boundaries. It's not really about the short-term dopamine. When you're there, when you're present there, that sort of adrenaline अभी तक हमारे अंदर वो है. आप देख सकते हैं the Sultan is sitting here. So that is going to be with you for a lifetime. So that's what I would recommend. Go for the long-term goals. Go for the things that are going to be with you for long-term.
Thank you so much. God bless. A huge round of applause for our team Citadel. Once again, thank you very much. I wish you people all the best. And also the fact, the Masumana Sawal that was asked is very important because being a teacher, I usually see my students having great ideas, but many a times really not the drive. But if the drive is there, it is very limited. And the fact that what Mohib has said, that it was not only the drive, the passion that brought him here. The fact that I'm time and again talking about the Pathfinder group, the teamwork, Ikram Sahikul Saab, because the way he made this entire trip work, there was this work segment that you see here, and then we also had the excursion part. We are not talking about that because we really enjoy it, right? And at times you would wonder why the excursion part to this entire trip. The lesson that we all drew from that excursion part was some of us had traveled for the first time. We had not even seen our own country, let alone another country. Some of us were there, they were seasoned travelers. Many of us hadn't been to Davos. Many of us hadn't been to Europe. But by the end of the trip, believe me, everyone knew which side alley shop was selling what, where can you find good food, what are the places to visit, and those of us whom we really didn't consider much because we are so jazzed by our own vision, actually became the team leaders. And the team leaders like Salman Saab, like Zishan, like many others, और अगर मैं उनके नाम लेना शुरू करूं तो एक session हो जाए. All of them took a back step and they allowed the young people, the first time travelers, those who had no experience, to become the leaders, to become the managers. Someone was handling the money very badly, but still we did it. At the end of the day, when we were splitting, it was with a very, very heavy heart, right? And going to all those places was amazing. But what made it beautiful, what made it a memory that will last forever, is becoming part of a group which was so diverse, but we became one. So these are the things that you carry with you, and I'm sure such a vision. And again, as I said, there were young people and there were old people, but we were all the same age at one time. And these are the visions that actually make this thing a long-term process. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, team. It is now a great honor for me, for the Pathfinder Group, for all of us to welcome a representative of a nation which is synonymous with chocolates, cheese, Heidi, my favorite childhood favorite, but on a serious note, with diplomacy, with innovation, stability, and global dialogue. The very country that hosts the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, which has long served as a bridge between nations and ideas. The Davos process by itself, the World Economic Forum. Davos itself reflects Switzerland's commitment to creating spaces where global challenges are addressed through collaboration and forward thinking. It is a personal privilege and honor to have with us the Ambassador of Switzerland to Pakistan. I truly welcome, sir, Your Excellency George Steiner to the stage. Please, sir, join us on the stage. I would be very grateful. I would further request Ikram Sehgal Saab to please join our worthy guest on the stage and then finish this session with a vote of thanks. Before I start, Davos is not a very big city, but the way the Swiss work ethics are, there was no chaos, although there was a traffic jam, but because everyone was exiting at the same time in the two big avenues Davos has, so that is natural, but not a single honk, no one yelling at each other, and beautiful way of executing an event, a forum, which had all the who's and who's of the world coming together for a good 1 week. And that is the Swiss diplomacy, that is the Swiss work efficiency, the work ethics, and precision. Sir, over to you. If we would like to really listen from you, and thank you for facilitating everything for us.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be here. Ikram Sehgal. Welcome, good morning or good afternoon to every one of you. It was a pleasure and a joy for my colleague Ajwit and for myself to come here to Ikram Sehgal's home this morning and to hear what your experiences are after your trip to Davos. I've heard many, of course, very intelligent things, very reasonable conclusions, very precious personal impressions that you have taken away from Davos. One thing that will always remain on my mind when I leave Pakistan is Davos and Ikram Sehgal. When we started to discuss this project of bringing these young entrepreneurs to Davos, I still remember the passion and at the same time the wisdom and the intelligence that you, Ikram, brought to the discussion. And whenever we discuss such a project to bring a large number of Switzerland or to Switzerland, then of course certain questions go along with it. I think everything played out how we have planned it, and I think to see that all the promises were upheld, the plans were implemented, the administrative aspects were respected very well. I think that's a real sign of excellence, and I would like to congratulate everyone involved to have really implemented it in the way that we have discussed it. It's a joy to see how motivated the participants were and how positive the feedbacks are that you have taken away from Davos. I think the real added value of Davos is indeed to provide a platform to very experienced persons to very experienced politicians to very experienced businessmen and to very motivated young people to come together and to implement what we have heard this morning from patronage to partnership. I think that's indeed what really can make a huge difference with regard to what young Pakistani can bring to the world stage. After 3.5 years in Pakistan, I still have the same hope that I had for Pakistan when I arrived, but I think I can of course see it in a much more diverse way. And indeed, the strength of Pakistan is the younger generation who is so able and so excellent at reaching out to the international community and presenting very ably, very competently the strength of young Pakistanis. So I think that these young professionals who were chosen very, very well in the context of this procedure here brought an excellent image and sign of competence of Pakistan to Switzerland. And it was said many times this morning, this was an important beginning for these youngsters who are not so young anymore. It's a start, but I think it's an excellent start. And seeing that there is international capital that would like to invest in these young Pakistani companies, in this young Pakistani talent, I think is testament to the success of this enterprise. And that this can happen in the context of a well-established institution like the WEF in Switzerland, I think is an absolutely wonderful thing. I have heard two more important aspects this morning. We have heard some colleagues talking about values and about integrity. And you may have thought about these aspects also in the context of certain discussions that are currently going on with regard to the WEF and that are going on with regard to political aspects in general. I think every successful businessman who makes a lot of money should never forget that business is also very closely connected to values and integrity. When I was recently in Karachi and I spoke to Swiss firms who are operating quite successfully here in Pakistan, I kept on telling them that making money in a huge market is of course very important. Business is about making money. But I think the real sign of excellence is the benchmark to what extent you manage to reach out into a market and into a society and to provide added value with regard to corporate social responsibility. That means the added value that you bring to a society. Of course, you can only do that if you make money and if you're successful. But one should never forget that making money, that's not the end of the story. That's basically just step one or step two, and then the real sign of excellence comes later on. So, in short, I'm very happy with all the great energy that I could feel from the participants this morning. I'm very happy to see that everyone considers this journey as the beginning of the journey and that we have not yet reached the middle of it and most certainly not the end. I would like to encourage all the young entrepreneurs who were here to keep up the good work, to continue to go in the direction that was outlined, and everyone who is considering being part of that journey and considering becoming part of this family, as we have heard this morning. Do not hesitate, go for it, try to be part of it. If it's not happening this year, if you cannot go to Jeddah, if it's not this year, then it may be the next year. If it's not the next year, and maybe the year after. But you represent the Pakistan youth, which has been a joy for me to talk to over the last 3.5 years. I'm very hopeful for Pakistan, and I wish both the young entrepreneurs who went to Davos, but also, of course, all the others who are involved with the Pathfinder Group, who are involved with Citadel, and who have now become part of this wonderful family. Good luck, and of course, I wish you a lot of success and personal satisfaction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ikram Sehgal sir, your words.
Thank you, Salma. Excellency, first of all, let me say very bluntly that all this would not have been possible without your active cooperation. And not only active cooperation, active encouragement. And for me, you know, having a private security company, I'm dealing with a lot of diplomats in any case. Having been in the media, I've been dealing with diplomats. You have been very refreshing. And, you know, what you have said and what you have done to facilitate this is something that is what you say, you know, I want to paraphrase somebody says, one small step for, you know, for Pakistan, and another giant step for this region, as a matter of fact, because like the Citadel people are saying that we are reaching out now, not only into Pakistan, but reaching out to others. So thank you very much. I want to especially put on record that, and I will never, I'll tell everybody that it's very seldom that you come across people like you who are not only diplomats, but if I may say through the word, human beings, you know. So you make sure that you serve the humanity that you represent with and blend it with the humanity that you are meant to serve here for your country. I would like to thank, to start with Salma. Thank you for having you know, moderated this session so very well. And I would not be amiss if I do not thank the entire Citadel team, starting with Air Vice Marshal Asad Akram, Air Commodore Farhan, Air Commodore Khalid Baneri, and Imran Jatala. Because, you know, it's all right, you can have a vision, but somebody has to translate that vision into reality. You know, you can keep on having visions, you know, but you know, you have to make sure that that vision goes into reality. Now, I was very lucky. I was very lucky because God has blessed me with a lot of good people in my corporate entity. And I don't call them my corporate entity, I call them my family. And I can say that with great confidence, that those people who were not part of Pathfinder Group before they went to Davos came back as part of Pathfinder Group. And each one of Pathfinder, starting with Salman sitting there, and Shakil there, and Jahangir, who's not here, and others, you know, right down the line, all of them did so well that we were very, very fortunate to have a very successful Davos event. As is my feeling, I try to interact with government as less as possible. I don't, you know, I try to, but I'm grateful to the Pakistan mission, both in Bonn and in Geneva. They were helping out. They did help in the sense of providing me names and timings, etc., of the official delegation so that I don't miss anything. But above all, let me tell you, that it would not have been possible because I actually am very lucky that our partner, logistics partner in Switzerland is today here, Ashfaq Ahmed. Ashfaq, can you please stand up? Ashfaq has been there 31 years, and he's got 2 restaurants in Zurich, and he's got a transportation company, and he provides the buses, the thing, etc. And it is a logistical nightmare sometimes, getting people from different airports to different hotels, and then when you have, Mr. Trump visiting, then you have everything stopping on the thing, etc. To get them to the right hotel at the right time. So, and thank you. But I'll tell you something which is very important. 5 years we've dealt together. Do we have a written agreement? No. Nothing in writing. That is what I want to bring as the bottom line of Pathfinder Group. Can anybody tell me in Pathfinder Group, is there a written instruction for this entire exercise? No. Everybody was told, this is what you got to do it. And they did it. Every one of them, whether it was this thing, etc. Citadel came to me in September and said to me that this is the broad plan we have to promote September. And they gave me a 2-year plan of how to make Citadel a household word. And I told them I'll make you a household word before the end of January. I made them now a household word internationally also. Right? But it's not me. It's not me. I just provide the platform. It is their absolute talent, potential, expertise, determination, and anything that you say, they went into it like knife to butter. And what you see today, what you heard today, I'm very happy to say that people, went from different startups, came, and the startups that have now come in front of, not only from Pakistan, but from outside. And we have this thing that we're going on to Jeddah. And World Economic Forum is actively supporting us in this. Actively supporting us in this. So bring the thing. They've said that we've never seen something like this before, the startups. And with the result that a lot of other countries are now going to bring startups to that. But Pakistan was the first. And because of that, we're going to go into Jeddah. And a lot of Muslim countries, Islamic countries are coming also into Jeddah. And a lot of other countries are coming to Jeddah. And there is a possibility that we'll also be in Riyadh. Because since we're going to Jeddah, they say most of the investors that are coming into Saudi Arabia are coming to Riyadh. So they want us to be in Riyadh also. But most importantly is also that Comstech, our association with Comstech, our association with Comsat, and others like CERN that we may have, and other people that we may have, we want to make sure that we make this partnership of Pakistan meaningful. We want that. That is my entire objective. My entire objective is Pakistan, Pakistan, and Pakistan. So, please, I may have forgotten some people who have worked very hard beyond lines. I want to particularly be very thankful to my team at Amani Bagh, that they can, at short notice, create this, they have this auditorium, they have make sure, people like, Asia and Fauzia, who make sure that shampoos and towels are in the right place, and people have toothbrushes in the morning. And, we have clean places and clean this thing. So, thank you, everybody. If I missed out something, I made that thing. But let me tell you one thing. I believe in Gen Z. Today, history has been made 2 days ago in Bangladesh because of Gen Z. Bangladesh National Party may be the rulers, and the Jamaat Islami may have benefited. But it is Gen Z that has taken this to that thing. I said something which may not be very right. When this was happening and somebody asked me, very senior from Bangladesh, I said the Gen Z is good for revolt. But still some time left them to rule. But they will learn, and they will learn on the job. So thank you, Gen Z. You are our future. Make no mistake. And today, Excellency, we have people from Gujarat, University in Gujarat, and we have people from University in Peshawar today. They've come all the way. We brought them in so that they can participate with us. And we expand this horizon beyond the confines of this thing, etc. But last but not the least, let me recognize Aziz Mulani. Aziz is here? Aziz. Aziz is one of the people that for the last 10 years I share my most, let us say, thoughts or dreams which sometimes others don't believe in. He always believed in them. And he is a thing. And he is now working with Citadel. He's working on his own also. He's got his own firm. But he's working with Citadel for the South, so that NED and IBA and other, Habib University and others come in, the Gen Z crowd there can come in and become, because we have to include the entire country, whether it's Sindh, Balochistan, Frontier, Fata, Gilgit, anywhere, Gujranwala, Chichu Kamalia, but we have to include the entire country. But I take this occasion again and say two things. I have a little surprise for you. We've talked about Gen Z, we've talked about digital things. I turned the thing a little bit and I said, let me take Sufi music there. And we took Sufi music there. And one of the things that was told to me was, by very somebody senior, that these guys are not coming back. Well, they did go and they did come back. And not only that, today they've driven in from Lahore. And they themselves said, sir, we're driving, and they've got a show at 10 o'clock in Lahore tonight. But they drove in from Lahore early in the morning, and they're here, and they will perform for you for 15, 20 minutes here, and then later during lunch, they will also perform. So thank you, everybody. And those who want to have a cup of tea, please go have a cup of tea. Have your cup of tea, bring it inside. But the Sufi music people are going to, just after this, be here, and I hope you will sit and listen to what they have to perform. Thank you.
God